Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So if you have watched my short, you are already aware that I'm planning to add another category to this channel where I review products and software that are related to the trucking industry. Now to kick this series off, I'm starting with Motive, an ELD also known as KeepTruckin. So quick disclaimer right now, I am a customer of Motive, but I am not sponsored by them, so I'm going to be offering you my unbiased, truthful, honest opinion. So let's get into it. Ready? Let's go. Now, I have been a customer of Motive, formerly known as KeepTruckin, since 2019, and I have been loyal to them pretty much the whole way through, except for one time where I had to try a different ELD because there was an issue with the shipping process of Motive, and we will get into it. So we're going to focus on the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to this ELD. And while this won't be a tutorial of how to use this device, it is going to highlight what I absolutely love about it, what I don't like, and what I hate about this company. Hands down, the best thing about this ELD is the software it comes with. I'm the kind of person, like many of you, I'm sure, I value efficiency and clarity. I really do not have time to waste trying to figure out how to use this or how to figure out this or that crap. So efficiency, well, clarity is very important for being efficient. So of course, we have to start with the dashboard. So I'm going to be looking at the screen with you guys, but the number one thing about this ELD that I absolutely love is the telematics. When you plug in this ELD into your truck, it's going to read off everything. And the best thing is it tells you exactly how much fuel, how much depth the truck has, what's the engine load, the coolant temperature, and so on and so forth. Now, the fuel data by itself has helped me pre-plan where the best places to refuel are. I don't want to be on the phone with my guys, my team members all the time because it's kind of taking away their attention from driving. So I'm able to just log into Motive and see exactly how much fuel they have and then pre-plan accordingly with the RTS fuel card, which I will be reviewing as well, where the best places to refuel are so that my guys don't have to worry about a thing. The second thing that I absolutely love about this ELD is the tracking capabilities. This ELD shows you tracking in real time. Something that I have noticed with the other ELD that I have been using is that tracking is lagging by about 1 to 2 hours. Here, it's real time. You always know where your folks are at. But that's not the best part. We all know that brokers can be a real pain in the butt when it comes to tracking because they're trying to keep their customers updated. And another thing we know is that their systems, such as MacroPoint, Kites, trucker tools, they sometimes start acting up. And then you end up in a situation where the broker starts cutting your rate because the tracking wasn't on or was intermittent, as they like to say. But with Motive, you can actually avoid that whole situation altogether. So with this dashboard, you have the ability to share the location, the live location of your truck, not the driver. It's connected directly to the truck, not to the driver's cell phone. So there's a little bit more privacy there. And basically you send that link to the broker. You can even set up for how long do you want that link to be operational. You can set the date and time when you think this load will be delivered to stop sharing the link. And to be frank, this has helped me avoid these rate cuts due to intermittent tracking numerous times, because the first thing I do when I know that tracking is required is I send that link to the broker so that they can't say that they didn't know where the driver is. Now, TQL is a work in progress. They can have 5 tracking links that are all working perfectly, and they will still end up calling your drivers about 50 times per day. Can't win them all. Number 3 thing that I like is, of course, the IFTA tracking. By far, one of the most common emails I get when talking about how to manage your company is how in the world do you keep track of those IFTA miles? Well, personally, finally, I don't keep track of anything because Motive does it for me, and it's super easy to see exactly how many miles in each jurisdiction your fleet ran as a whole during a specific time period. So I just go to Motive, I download all the data, and I'm good to go. Number 4, the actual hours of service. Now, I'm not talking about what the driver sees. I'm talking about the back office. In the back office, you want to be in a position where you're not constantly calling your guys and gals asking, how many hours do you have? Do you have enough time to do this load? Especially in a market where everything has to be done rather quickly. With Motive, I'm able to see exactly how many hours my guys have, how many hours of drive time, how many hours of shift time, how much until their 30-minute break, and how many hours in their cycle. To top it off, you can see exactly how many hours they will have the next day if you're using recaps, which we do all the time. And of course, I also have the ability to see the split sleeper berth. And finally, the last thing that I really like about Motive is the safety aspect. So if you're one of those people who is really gung-ho about safety and you want to make sure everything is done properly, Motive does that for you as well. You're able to see any events like hard braking or speeding, and you also get a safety score for each of your drivers, and then you're able to coach them on specific events that happen. Now, time for the bad, and then we'll get into the ugly. First, we're going to talk about price. Now, the price, it's not that it's outrageously high, it's just that price will always go under the bad category simply because I am cheap and I don't feel like paying for anything when this market is as challenging. Of course, I'm joking here, but we will talk about price because even though Motive is more or less on par with other ELDs, it is on the higher end. And of course, the price will also depend on what kind of subscription you get, how many trucks in your fleet, and so on and so forth. Now, something you will notice right away if you go to their website is that they don't make the pricing available to the general public. You actually have to call them. But I'm going to give you a rundown of what it looks like. So we're just talking about ELDs here, not any add-ons like dash cams and so on and so forth. For an ELD, you are going to end up paying $150 for the hardware, and then you're going to be paying usually about $45 per month. Now, this is a price that just increased by $5. It used to be $40 per month. Now it's $45 per month. Now, something that you guys should know, they are pretty honest about the fact that they're ready to negotiate that monthly price. And usually the way it's done is if you want to pay a one-time annual fee, you're able to get some sort of a discount. So instead of paying $45 every single month, you can choose to pay it all in one go and ask for a certain discount. And they did tell me they are open to negotiations. All right, now the most interesting part, the ugly. The one thing that I have always had an issue with when it comes to Motive is how they ship their hardware. Now, the ELD box itself is always in excellent condition. However, boy, do they mess up the cables that actually connect that box to your truck. Every time, and I have done this 4 times so far, every time I have ordered an ELD box from Motive for the new truck that was coming in, they have messed up the cable every single time, even when I made it super crystal clear exactly what kind of truck we have. So my recommendation for you, I always have them around, is keep extra cables around that you can get from Amazon. I have bought several of these just in case because I already realized that if we're sticking with Motive, which we are, they are going to send us the wrong cable. Now, something else I want to mention that doesn't really fit into any category, the good, the bad, or the ugly, simply because it depends on what situation you're in and how you run your business. Motive is one of those ELDs that very often when an inspector pulls you over and they find out that you are using Motive, they won't even really concern themselves with your logbook as much as if you were using a different ELD. And of course, there is a reason for that. Motive happens to be an ELD where it's literally impossible to cheat. The most you can do when using this ELD is to use personal conveyance when you are not supposed to, which of course I'm not recommending. Now, this sounds like it would go into the good category, but I'm going to tell you a quick story of what happened to us a couple of years ago. This was a completely honest mistake, but basically my guy was on a restart at a rest stop and he had a truck stop that was 5 miles away from him. Now, obviously he wanted to take a shower and he wanted to use personal conveyance to drive those 5 miles to the truck stop to use their showers in order not to mess up his restart. But accidentally, instead of putting personal conveyance, he put in drive time, which started his clock. And even after I explained to customer service, you have a chat option on Motive. After I explained the situation that it was supposed to be personal conveyance, literally just to use the truck to get to a shower, they refused to change it. And the restart was lost halfway through. So yeah, it can be a great thing if you're looking at it from the standpoint of you are running a clean operation if you're using Motive, because again, it's almost impossible to cheat except for using personal conveyance when you're not supposed to. But when you end up in a honest mistake kind of situation like we did, yeah, it can be frustrating. So in general, would I say that Motive is worth the price, worth the hype? Is it something that I'm going to continue using? Yeah, absolutely. And this is mostly based on the fact that they have the best software I have seen. It makes my life so much easier. If you're interested in giving them a go, I will attach a link down below. Another thing I would love to encourage everyone to do who uses Motive is to share their opinions of it, the pros, the cons, because I think different opinions is what's going to help those that are shopping for an ELD make a better decision. I might have missed something that you thought of, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the first of its kind video on this channel. I hope it was helpful, and I wish you a fantastic rest of your week. Bye!